Hello guys and welcome, my name is Phoenix and today we're looking at Villagers. Villagers is a base building game in which we're going to be building a medieval town and try to survive and thrive. It's very similar to Banish in the design, so you will recognize a lot of things similar to Banish, but it's different enough to warrant the playing on it on the channel, and we're going to have fun with it and explore it. The game features campaign, which we're going to try first, and then it also features a free play that we're going to try later. Campaign is heavily story based, so there is a lot of story behind it. So we're going to go and try to explore that as well. So let's click the campaign. I'm going to start a new campaign. Okay, in here, campaign starts with the story that we're going to be reading. Our character is called Phoenix. And because there is a lot of reading and I'm dyslexic, I'm going to be using my girlfriend as our narrator, please.
This is the story of Phoenix, a young man who managed to shine a ray of hope into a pitch-black tunnel of despair at a time when war and illness ruled a world filled with darkness. Nasty winds blew around him, strong winds of pungent adversities trying to extinguish the light. Even when Phoenix couldn't see much in the darkness, was almost blind, he always laid his hand successfully around the flame. Sometimes so close that he was in danger of burning, and he was a child. What's wrong, Jacqueline? Why don't you continue? It is a shame to admit being the writer I am, but I am lost for words. Really? We cannot accept this. Let's do something about it. Host, bring us a bottle of your best wine. Ursel, are you trying to soften me with this devilish alcohol? We agreed to celebrate today. Let's treat ourselves to something special. Delicious. Where was I? The sickness of Phoenix. Let me start a long time ago, back in our hero's childhood. He had a little brother with whom he lived in the countryside. Phoenix was as little as 2 stacked boots. He had a little brother with whom he lived in a tiny settlement far away in a rural area. His parents took care of them well, providing them with prey from the woods. They paid great attention to making their children learn to survive the cruel wilderness. One day they went out hunting with their father. However, the children couldn't concentrate and began to argue, which led to a terrible accident. Their father, annoyed by his children squabbling and feeling the pressure from having to provide a meal for his family, accidentally stepped into his own trap, dying a terrible death. Phoenix, filled with fear and terror, fled the scene and ran into the forest whilst his brother returned to the settlement. Neither of them have seen each other since that fateful day, and Phoenix even forgot his name. It's all very sad. That may be, but it all turned out well for Phoenix in the end. The runaway child was found and taken in by farmers a few days later in a place far away from his home, and spent his remaining childhood there. Phoenix was plagued by a guilty conscience, which he tried to atone for through hard work. He was convinced that he could only undo his sins by doing good deeds. Phoenix was self-educated from very early on and taught himself a great many skills. Every time he paid a visit to a big city, he used every chance he got to talk to its inhabitants and gain more knowledge. Farmers recognised his potential and put him in charge of managing the farmyard as soon as he was old enough. I think we should talk a little about the war. Oh yes, the war. So many faded memories that we literally had to bury. One day it simply broke out without warning and without any prior political negotiation, an enemy whom they soon came to call the Faceless. Invaders from the northeast, all wearing the same bizarre metal masks and coming from countries that previously only our boldest explorers had ever seen. Without thinking much about his strategy, our king sent his troops out to blindly attack the enemy. The losses were devastating, and we seemed to be no match for the enemy. Every available man was called up to fight as a soldier. Every boy that was able to hold a weapon was sent to the front line. The king rejected all dissenting voices regarding this harsh decision of his. Word quickly spread about his plans, and many families fled. Not only did they want to put as much distance as they could between themselves and the war, they also did not want to lose their men to the fires of battle. Luckily, there were a few dukes that were opposed to the king's decision, and who decided to protect the people as best they could. And that brings us to Albrecht. Oh yes, Duke Albrecht, not exactly the most trustworthy person in the world. Initially, he was unwilling to lay his cards on the table, but when he turned up at Fenix's farmyard one day, he did not hesitate to assert his authority. The devious, sleazy and condescending man claimed that he had been sent on behalf of the king to gather up all available men in the area. He made a big display of authority, entering people's houses and having them searched, and that's when he came across Fenix's sketches. Oh yes, the famous sketches! Fenix had to save a lot of money to be able to afford parchment and charcoal, but he had spent day and night designing complex cities. Running the farm had inspired him to do great things, and his ideas were not as absurd as one might have thought. After conducting extensive discussions with architects and planners living in the big city, Fenix designed technically feasible settlements, villages, and even entire cities. Fenix was talented, and although the king's orders were clear, this gave Albrecht pause. He had a suggestion for him. He said, "You may be surprised to find that I have heard of you before, Fenix. A young man with an extraordinary talent for city planning, although he had never learned from a master. Don't ask me how I know about you, but please, I'd like you to consider the following. Take all the people from this farm and your direct neighbours in the area with you and build a self-sufficient settlement within a year. I don't care how and where you do it. If you manage to do it, I will recommend you to the king as a city planner. After all, when the war is over, we will need people like you to help rebuild the country, provided we win, of course. And in keeping with my generosity, I will ensure that your men are excluded from being called up. However, if you fail, I will immediately revoke all protection." Fenix felt numb. Suddenly, all eyes were on him, and the lives of many people were depending on his reply. He was unable to utter a word, but gave the Duke his hand, who took it gladly, with a gleeful grin on his face. The deal was sealed.
Okay guys, I'm back. So, as you can hear from the story, we are basically sent to this place to build a village. We can move around with the keyboard, obviously, as in every ordinary game. There is a map that we're going to be building village on, at least for this tutorial purposes. We have 1 year to prosper and function. Okay, so the Albrecht says to us, these are dark times, which is why you should view this opportunity as a particular precious one. It is true. I envy you for it. That's not very good, but that's fine. Okay, so basically he's going to talk to us for a little bit, and we're going to basically building this settlement. And that's the basic tutorial starts in here. So what we're going to do, we're going to build a town hall. Town hall has to be built near the water. And the steering in the game works the same way as in every other games. With a mouse wheel, you can turn the building around and place it near the river that you want us to place it. Sounds like a good location here, maybe. I want to place it a little bit closer to the trees as well, so kind of find the location that will suit us well, like here. Sounds awesome to me. Okay. So we're going to get the villagers now coming, and they will travel there and build the settlement for us. Great. We have to wait for them for a little bit. We can speed up the game with plus and minus up speed 10. So you can see they're running now, building everything fantastic the way they should, and the game is paused. Okay. My dear friend, Ewald is talking to us. A workman like me can only help you if you give me a job. That's fine. Ewald will sort you out. Don't worry, my friend. My friends and I will be in the town hall, awaiting your orders. So basically we have to assign the orders to them. Okay, so that's me apparently. Looks nothing like me, but that's fine. Wait, we know each other since we were children. I'm so pleased to have familiar face on my side. That's great. Ah, come on. There is no need to be so sentimental. Just tell me what we are supposed to be doing with the resources, okay? Don't forget our laborers are only one who will carry them into the building site for you. And we can build whatever you like with them. Okay, that's fine. So we will have labor people that will build buildings for us, basically like constructor people. My head is already spinning and we have barely done anything yet. If only I had something to do write all the information down on. Face, whatever the guy is called. I shall be in the forest, ramming my sheep's sharp blades in wild animals, carrying them home for supper. Instead, Albrecht send me to this simpleton who probably can't even spell the word city planner. Okay, so he's not very kind with us. The Duke sent you? You look like a hunter, not a city planner. Well, yes sir, I am a hunter. Watching child playing at being an architect, exactly a fulfilling alternative to the thrill of hunt. And as for taking notes, a rebel's notebook will be with a leather case. Is that for me? How generous. And then Jacqueline speaks to us. From then on, oh, he speaks the story. From then on, Phoenix wrote everything in his notebooks, an excellent method, which I can't recommend enough. Ewald says to us. I have got to hand it to you, Phoenix. You are a master at casting your followers back into the bleak and barbaric times of the Dark Ages. You have managed to outdo the bandits Baron Ecarius even. You mean the terrible Ecarius. Be patient, my love. I will get to that spawn of Satan later in the story. Great. What are you talking about, Ewald? Has the fresh air gotten into your head? Most certainly has. And that's how everyone else who has been forced to sleep outside feels too. What an ungrateful git, seriously. They were being sent to army, they were going to die somewhere in the field. And they have a problem with me living on the field. You would live in the field anyway. So they want us to build some houses for them, basically, from this story. That's fine, without a doubt, Phoenix had spent a lot of time managing resources, great. So we're going to gather some wood and we're going to gather some resources. Our first job is to grab this gathering tool. It is nice. You select the trees and you will select them for chopping. You will hold shift, you can make it larger, so we're going to do that exactly. We're going to select all the trees here to be chopped down, so we can create some space for houses. Fantastic. Going to disable that, and let's see if they're actually doing tasks for us. Yes, look at that. The villagers are nicely coming here to chop the trees, so we can spin the camera around if you want to. Look at that. Not bad. That's our notebook, and our first task is to fell 23. I'm pretty sure we can manage that quite easily. Okay, let's speed up the game to level 10 because there is no point of waiting. And we're going to be building things. I think they went to sleep here for a bit, because that's what they do, but that's fine. They will chop the trees for us quickly and we'll be able to move on reasonably quickly with our life. In the meantime, Ursel says, it doesn't matter what you are big or small, strong or weak, as smart as a whip, or as dumb as a box of rocks. In the end of the day, everyone conquered by this simple thing. Piece of wisdom from the foolish bard, please enlighten us. The answer is hunger, and when the stomach is rumbling, there is no other ways of thinking straight. Phoenix, my stomach. I should have brought food with me. My somewhat modest hunting skills have withered and died, seeing I haven't used them for over past few years. That's fine. Finally, something for me to do. Neither you nor your laborers can carry out the work on empty stomach. Okay, so he wants me to start the lake kind of fisher workshop. That's what we need. We need to build small houses and we need to build the workshop, so we have 2 tasks to do. First one are the small houses, so let's find a good place for them to build. I think here sounds reasonable if I just spin them around so I can place them better. Nah, we have to place it like that. 1 house, that's fine. Our task in here is to build 3 houses. Kind of easy enough, I'm pretty sure. And we can build a jetty as well. So that's our second task here. Production, a fisher jetty. 30 wood, that's fine, we can do that. Let's go on a faster speed here, and everybody can build that. They can easily manage. Going to build jetty as quickly as possible so we can start having fish being brought up, because we have only 50 food in here, as you can see. Okay, we have somewhere to live. Now if you excuse me and my wife, well, we have a family to start. Okay, good for you, mate. Good for you. Go for it. Okay, so they're going to go and start families in their houses. So that's how your population grows in here. So that's the game, and let's see what we need. We still need some wood. That's fine. Let's go for it. Jetty, still 30 wood, so we have to get that slowly going. Something new is available. Yes, it is, certainly. Okay, so jetty can be built obviously on the river. Try to build it quite close. Here is a good location. Look at that, quite close to the town hall, so we should be easily dealing with that. So our first task, jetty is being built. Build 3 houses. We have built 1 so far. Houses cost us 20. If we click on them, it will tell us who lives there and what they have stored there so far. We can expand them as well for bigger families. With the jetty as well, we'll be able to do it soon. Let's speed up the game again and let's go for it. Okay, the process of building that thing is done nearly. Look at that. Last piece of wood is built and we have everything ready. Great. Let it run on speed 1 so we can actually deal with it. Okay, assign the villager's profession. Click on the town hall and click on the bottom plus specific profession. So we can assign the profession in the game from 2 different ways. The one way of doing it is by clicking on the jetty itself and adding fishermen. And the other one is from the town hall and looking for a fisherman and work warehousers. Okay, collect resources to be open and from storage. Okay, that's fine. We're going to have 1 warehouser. And they want us to have 2 fishermen in the tasks in here. And build the 3 houses is still ongoing task for us. So let's see how it goes. 20 wood we need. That's fine. I can achieve that. Let's go on speed 10 and we'll build 2 more houses and we'll see how it goes from there. We can look at the guys and you can actually click on the individual people as well. Look at that. There's a few of them sleeping here on the ground. So when you click on the guy, you have all the information about him: age, family, health, tool he's using, happiness levels, all of that as well. So kind of interesting. Can be using that for a while. Okay, we have 25 wood done, so we can build another house slowly. What was that? Build a house. Okay, let's throw 1 extra house here. And we'll have to place another one in a second as well, somewhere. 20 wood already. Let's go for it. 1 extra house, just spin it around. Super gently ahead. Here, for now, kind of place them around the town hall so they can have easy access to it. Let's go for it. Do we have any more tasks about that? Build 3 houses. That's kind of easy enough, that's fine. One warehouse person, 2 fishermen. So obviously our workforce kind of dropped by half. We have 2 people hunting fish, 1 storing items, and we have only 3 workers now left. So everything will take longer time, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. You can always edit it out so it doesn't take that long for you guys. Okay, so there is no greater pleasure than building his own house, says Ewald to us. We are making progress, Phoenix. Of course we are. At the end of the day, I'm your leader. You should be. Okay, villagers will move into the houses with their partners. They will reproduce, store food, and generally be happier. Okay, that's great. That's what we need. So that's how they grow, apparently. Obviously. Seriously, guys, you have nearly finished the house. That always annoys me. So they have like one brick to lay, and they struggle with it a lot, always. Fantastic. We have all the houses built. And we have a town hall, jetty, some food, and roof over our heads. We are certainly... Well, that's certainly a start, says Ewald. It is. To be honest, it's more than I expected. A young man organizing a whole village, well, we live in an age where I would never have thought it was possible. And it's certainly not something you see every day. I know, I'm amazing. Build 3 houses and tell people to hunt some fish. It's time to set your preconceptions aside, my good sir. We'll call him sir because I cannot pronounce his name. I know how to use my head. Just like every other person. Great. Okay, so now Jacqueline the poop says something. You know what, Ursula? Phoenix has failed miserably. Have you really? What are you talking about? I don't feel like continuing my story. I need something to wet my whistle. Okay, great. Quick, bring the man flagon of LA. The grumpy writer needs a drink to be able to tell the decent story, apparently. And now, of course, Phoenix did it. The foundations of the new village have been laid. I've got to say, I like this man. I like him too, he's awesome. Oh, yes, I have also got a soft spot for him. Oh, not in the way that you think, though. He giggles and every day should start with a happy song. Feels clear, your vocal cords and your soul. Shake off the burdens of the dream and lay deep on the shoulders of the night, apparently. Well, that's the piece of wisdom you must know about as a bard. Okay. Oh my god, there's so much reading in this tutorial, it's unbelievable. Even Phoenix sang that morning. The song was sung timidly and was great embarrassment at first. It would be, certainly, if I was singing it would be. But his heart commanded it. Happiness flew from his body until the stumbled upon the old, poorly grumpy Benil. Benil, what is your problem, mate? Let's pause it so I can focus on Benil. So it's true, I presume that Albertus has been having a laugh. But the fool really did it. Okay, it gave an inexperienced youngster the job of planning the city. My good lord, Arbelin, the king's supreme city planner. It is honor to welcome you to the humble settlement. I'm not sure that honor is the right word to use here. I'm sure that the men from... Pause the game, why is it not paused? I'm sure that the men from this community would be put to far better use in the war, in the northeast, rather than the part of your doomed settlement. What a complete utter waste. Okay, talk about putting a dumper on things for poor Phoenix. He stopped singing, instead his thoughts were focused on maintaining and exceeding the settlement. But first he wanted to find out more about Benil. Excuse me. But what do we owe the pleasure of your company? It seems that you are here to monitor me. Exactly, Albertus sent me to report back to you regularly. Our enemies have seized more land in the northeast. New men are being called up for every army every day. Okay, that's great. It's hard to imagine that there is a war going on elsewhere. It's so peaceful here. You best pray that it stays that way, and keep providing me with reasons why I should spare your settlement from being called on duty. Albertus swears by your city planning talents. If this is indeed the case, then we will need you to help rebuild this country after the war has ended. Jacqueline says. Duke Albertus said something similar a few days ago. There is a lot of pressure on Phoenix, the war on the horizon, Benil on Phoenix case, winter around the corner, And the future is not looking bright. Great. Wooha! Who are those strange creatures? Are they circus performers? I don't know, are they? Where? Indeed they are. They are traveling the country, heading southwest. All cowards, fleeing from the war like rats from the sinking ship. But what use would they be in the war zone? Even the most talented artist would be unable to put a smile on the recent widow's face. Great. You certainly don't mince your word, Benny. The presence of the artist seems to have cheered up my villagers, no end. I'm going to welcome them with the open arms. Okay, so basically artists came in and they kind of make everybody happy, which is great. Oh, they're here. Okay, that's where they're coming. Great. However, the artist's smiles were hidden on inner pains. They spoke with a whisper of a mysterious illness that had come to the country along with the faceless army. Great. The faceless, disturbing them as such, still seem rather bizarre. Simple folk have adopted this name for the enemies from the northeast quite quickly, not just because they're metal mass, but also because of the rumors that they had caused Black Death. Awesome. Ah yes, the plague. I have heard rumors too. Apparently the faceless are immune to the illness. Well, they're only rumors. Perhaps the simultaneous appearance was just coincidence, but the fear of the illness, of the plague, it was omnipresent. It hung in the air and was almost palpable. Okay, so basically there is the story there that the faces are coming, we're building the city, and they want us to build a bridge. That's our task for today. Then it chat a little bit more about it, but there is nothing of interest there. We need to gather some stone, and that's what we're going to be doing first, so let's gather stone around here. Awesome. So that's our gathering tool for stone, and wood so far we have discovered in this game. Let's go on speed 10, because there is no time to waste. Bridge is in the general constructions and costs 15 wood, 10 stones and some metal or iron. So obviously we don't have metal and iron yet. That's fine. Our population is 6 in here. As I can click on them, it will expand it into adult, children, infants and elders. So people will age and will die. So we'll have to replenish our populations quite reasonably here. It says it was available, but it wasn't really. Lied to me. 29, I need 30. Okay, 30. Awesome. Bridge. Now, they want us to connect these places together. Let's figure out the reasonable way to do it. I think kind of here on this little passage is the best way. The boat should be able to still go, and they're going to build the bridge. Okay, go guys. Build the bridge for us because we need it. Hold shift to scroll and press C and V to lengthen the bridge. Oh, I didn't know that. I should have done that first. C and V expands buildings. Let's test that with the house. If I have enough wood. Well, we'll know for the future. C and V expands things. So I could make it shorter if I wanted to. And don't build it that big. But I think the length is okay. Kind of overlaps a little bit on this land here, but that's fine. Build the bridge is our only task left. Let's go for it. Okay, change the bridge length. Scrolling rotates it. Place both ends on solid ground. Okay, we've done that already, so there is no point of telling me that now. But the small bridge opens a new opportunities. What opportunities are they? Not much. It doesn't tell me much, really. I can just click on it and that's the information I have. But that's fine. Ewald tells us in here that it gives me a great pleasure to inform you that the sturdy stone bridge is now complete. I can walk over it without my scar tingling. That's great. Phoenix, it is, my goodness, it is. What's going on, Ewald? Take the deep breath and calm down. What's wrong? In our settlement, one of our laborers, he got the plague. What? Great. The fever and these strange patches on his skin. Fantastic. It's just as I predicted. You have got to do something, Phoenix, and do it fast. And you are sure you're not mistaken? You're absolutely sure? Phoenix, my hands are shaking with fear. I have never been so sure about anything in my life. The laborer is ill fatally. Ill in the way that have been never seen before. That's awesome. Phoenix, I'm sorry. And just like that, his settlement was no longer safe. Everything happened quite quickly after that. The villagers went into panic. They ousted the ones who were sick from the community, packed up their most important belongings and got ready to leave the area. Great. What, you mean they just abandoned these who were ill? Ruthless decision. It was hard for everyone, but no doctor could help them. They had no choice. They were probably mighty pleased that they had built the bridge. Indeed they were. With a heavy heart, Phoenix abandoned the settlement. He had to turn his back on first village. But his villagers' safety was his first priority. Fantastic. Such a great man. A home isn't land and nor a city or a space. It's a feeling of safety and security, and they wouldn't find that here anymore. Okay, so we can skip the next mission. Okay, and here we are on the next mission. Our group is kind of trying to move around, abandon the settlement and all that. But I think for now, we're going to finish the episode in here, guys. You've seen enough for the first one. Please do come back tomorrow because we'll continue the game. I will like it quite a lot. And I will see you next time. Take care.